Hey everyone, and welcome to What Did I Miss?, where today I can finally share with you the release date of the third season of the Orville, along with some other new details about the upcoming release and how this new version of the series will be connected to the old. Before I get started, I just want to welcome you to WDIM and ask that you please drop a like to help support the channel and subscribe for weekly videos about the Orville, Star Trek, and other sci-fi news. If you are a fan of Star Trek, this week I was very happy to join Trek Central for a fun chat on their channel, and I will leave a link to the video if you would like to watch it and see how awkward I can be on camera. Fans have been waiting since 2019 to see the next season of the Orville, and it looked for a while like this beloved series may never get one. At first the show was shelved due to the star and creator of the Orville, Seth MacFarlane, and his commitment to the show Family Guy, among other projects. While the Orville did get decent ratings, it was not nearly as popular as the long-running animated series that made Seth MacFarlane famous. With Fox airing both shows on their channel, it was up to their discretion which series would be given the most emphasis, and ever since the Orville was created, that series was always a second fiddle of Family Guy. But since then, Fox and all of its properties were purchased by the Disney Corporation, which happened to coincide with when the last season of the Orville aired in 2019. Disney has decided to put more emphasis on the Orville and move the series to Hulu, where they can now show content geared more towards adults and not have to worry about network TV censorship as much. Filming for the third season actually began in October of 2019, but was then stopped in March of 2020 due to the COVID crisis. It was reported that 5 episodes were filmed before filming had to be stopped, and that the series then had to refilm many scenes that were shot when they were allowed to resume filming finally in February of 2021. The COVID restrictions also created a lot of issues with the production by not only delaying it, but also costing the company as much as 20% more than the season prior due to the new COVID protocols. It was also reported that since one of the protocols called for no more than 30 actors to be present in one scene at a time, that the crew had to adjust the filming schedule so that any scenes that involved more than 30 actors were held into the end of production when COVID protocols were more lax. All in all, when filming on the season was completed on August 11, 2021, it had been 659 days since filming on the season began. But now we definitively know when the third season will air on Hulu, and the first episode, titled Electric Sheep, will debut on Thursday, March 10th, 2022. For those of you that do not live in the United States and do not have access to Hulu, although it has not been made official, it is believed that the series will also be shown on Disney Star Plus. There will be 11 episodes during the season, which is less than prior seasons, but each episode will be longer by about 15 minutes. This will mean that by the end of the season, the time on screen will be about equal to seasons 1 and 2, but the episode lengths are not the only things about the third season that are getting upgraded. Actor Mark Jackson, who plays Isaac on the show, was recently speaking at a live event, and when asked about the difference this season, he stated that he thought each episode played out like its own mini-movie. Hulu did give the show a much bigger budget for its run on the network, and John Kazar, who along with Seth MacFarlane are the only directors this season on the show, said that we can expect 1 or 2 space battles each episode. The space battles are one facet of the show where I think the Orville really has an advantage over Star Trek, as the ship, the Orville, is a much more maneuverable vessel than the large Constitution and Galaxy-class Enterprise ships, which leads to a faster-paced space battle. Either way, I'm looking forward to watching Gordon hug the donkey once again. The series will also have a tagline this season, as it has been branded as the Orville New Horizons. I think that this is a smart move, as I'm sure there will be many differences in this new version, and that is not even taking into account costume design changes and the aging of the actors. A short teaser was released with the announcement that included a shot of the new bridge of the Orville. As you can see, this version looks much more high-tech, with many more LCARS monitoring screens on the wall. It has not been revealed how much time will pass on-screen between seasons, which can be even more confusing if you consider that the last episode of the second season, titled The Road Not Taken, dealt with an alternate timeline. In that episode, the crew of the Orville were forced to unite in a different present that was created when the ship's first officer, Kelly Grayson, and the ship's captain, Ed Mercer, were never married. The last scene occurred in the past and implied that things were set back in place correctly, but the show could easily use this event as a jumping off point for changes on the show. Also, because of the events of the second season, it is very likely that the Orville is a much more important ship to the Planetary Union now, after defeating the Kazon invasion while also opening up a peaceful dialogue with the Krill. If you do not recall that, the Planetary Union was almost destroyed when Isaac was forced to initiate an invasion of Earth directed by his people, the Kazon, but in the end was helpful in defeating them. This event caused the Planetary Union to lose a good portion of its fleet and officers, and if not for the help of the Krill, who arrived in support of Captain Mercer and the Orville, it is likely that they would not have been able to survive. After defeating the Kazon, the Krill seem to want a truce with the Union, so it'll be exciting to see where they stand when the series returns. But since Captain Mercer and the crew of the Orville are responsible for those developments, along with the need for good ships and crews in the Union, they may even be the flagship of the organization by the time the season begins. This would be a huge evolution from the beginning of the series, where the ships seemed to be relegated to menial duties that most other ships did not want to do. But the tagline New Horizons is also a statement about the future of the series and how it will now be getting more push and opportunities on the new network. In fact, Seth MacFarlane has already begun talking about a fourth season for the show, and it is obvious that if the fans are there to support the series, then he will be ready to get to work. I think fan support for the series is actually very strong, and I know that at least on my channel, whenever I talk about the Orville, I get way more views than I do when I talk about anything else. So I really hope that we get many more seasons after this one. But I know that many people may not even realize that this show is even coming back, so I hope that Hulu does a lot to promote the series before its release. Given that the release date is in March of 2022, we could get a full trailer any day, but I know that the series is still in the post-production process at the time of recording this video. You can do a lot to help promote the series by sharing this video about the Orville and letting your friends know when it is coming back. Of course, I would be remiss if I did not discuss the passing of McDonald, who voiced the character Yaphet, and how it will affect the series. Mr. McDonald passed away after a long but private battle with cancer, but the show was able to complete all of his scenes for the third season. While only appearing once on the series and doing the rest of his work in a sound booth, he still had a big impact on the cast, and many left heartfelt messages for him and his family after his passing. I'm sure that some, if not all, of the season will be dedicated to him, and I hope that his character is given some type of respectful send-off as well. It is always difficult when cast members pass away during filming, but series like The Blacklist and The Sopranos have done things within their own storylines to respect both the character and the actor who is gone, and I hope that the Orville is able to do something as well. All of the main cast members from last season will be returning, along with a new cast member named Charlie Burke that will be played by actress Annie Winters. Her position on the ship has not been confirmed, but after seeing some behind-the-scenes photos released on various social media accounts, it appears that she is part of the bridge crew and may be replacing John Lamar after he was promoted to Lieutenant Commander and put in charge of the engineering team. Because of the COVID situation at the time of filming, not many guest stars are expected this year, but fans are hoping that Halston Sage makes a return to the series as her character Alara Katan after she departed the series during the second season. At the time, the actress left after getting a starring role in another series that has since been canceled, and due to her popularity on the Orville, rumors have been flying that she could return. The Orville has gotten some pretty good guest stars in the past, so it's unfortunate that we won't see as many in the third season, but hopefully this trend can continue when a fourth season is produced. Well, that is all I have for this week, but let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thank you very much for clicking on this video. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time on What Did I Miss?